Her business trip to Vegas ended our marriage. Back in late August 2023, my wife 31F left for a short business trip to Las Vegas. It was just a 2-day conference, flying out Thursday and returning Saturday morning. That night, we attended my mom's retirement party. Everything seemed normal, perfect even. On Sunday, we did our usual routine brunch, errands and prepping for the week. When Monday rolled around, things still felt routine. My wife and I 33M exchanged our usual texts throughout the day. But on my way home, she texted me, "I think I have a yeast infection. I'm going to get it checked out." I replied, "That sucks. Hope it's not an STD. Haha." She laughed it off in her reply. But hours later, she sent another text. "Your comment earlier was weird. You don't think I'm cheating on you, do you?" That struck me. Why would she even bring that up? I laughed it off and reassured her, of course not. But looking back, this was the first red flag. A couple of days passed. My wife mentioned her symptoms had worsened and that she needed to see the doctor again. I felt bad for her. She'd had mild issues like this before, but never this severe. When she came home, she said she had been diagnosed with thrush and a severe yeast infection. I remember thinking, what the hell is thrush? She explained it was a throat infection. I jokingly said, "Stay away from me if you're contagious." But something about her tone when she explained things felt off. This was red flag number 2. Over the next week, she was bedridden, working from home and barely moving off the couch. I felt bad for her but also noticed a distance between us. She seemed preoccupied, almost guilty. One evening, I came home and found her crying on the couch. I asked what was wrong, and she said, "I think I need to start seeing a therapist." I was taken aback but supportive. I asked if I should go with her or if there was something she wanted to discuss with me. She shook her head and said, "It's just personal. I need to figure myself out." Red flag number 3. A few days later, after a shower, I found her sitting on our bed, crying again. This time, she asked, "Is this all there is to life? Is this what you want?" I froze. Where was this coming from? I tried to get her to elaborate, but she brushed it off with, "Never mind." On September 10th, 2023, at p.m., we were lying in bed when she started crying uncontrollably. I held her and told her, "I know something's been bothering you. Whatever it is, we'll face it together." That's when she whispered, "I can't tell you. If I do, you won't want to work this out." A sinking feeling hit my stomach. I insisted she tell me. After a long pause, she finally admitted, "I had a one-night stand in Vegas." My heart stopped. All the odd comments and behaviors over the past weeks clicked into place like a cruel puzzle. She told me the details after her conference. She went to a bar with colleagues. She sent me a picture of her drink that night with the usual "love you, good night." But instead of going back to her hotel, she met a guy at the bar. They hit it off, shared drinks until 2 a.m. and then left together. They went to his apartment, where she slept with him unprotected. I couldn't stop myself. I asked if he finished inside her. She swore he pulled out, but her voice trembled. Then she dropped the real bombshell. The guy had herpes, which caused her symptoms. I was shattered, completely numb. The aftermath was a nightmare. I couldn't eat, sleep, or function. I developed severe anxiety, eventually needing medication to manage it. My blood pressure spiked to dangerous levels. Our marriage, once the envy of everyone we knew, was now a tragedy. Family and friends couldn't believe it. My mom, who adored my wife, broke down when I told her. My wife said the guy made her feel wanted and special. She claimed she didn't know why she gave in, but the damage was done. She begged for a second chance, but I couldn't. The thought of her betrayal, the herpes, and all the lies replayed in my mind daily. I couldn't look at her the same way. It's been almost 2 years since that night. We're separated now, and while she's tried to make amends, I've made my choice. I can't go back. The disrespect, the humiliation, the STD, it's all too much. She ruined what we had, and no amount of apologies or therapy can undo it. I understand I wasn't a perfect husband. Maybe I could have been more attentive, more present. But nothing I did or didn't do justifies her betrayal. Some wounds are just too deep to heal. And so, I've chosen to walk away. Why I couldn't state a reflection on betrayal and loss. I've wrestled with myself every single day since that night she confessed. I've tried to temper my pride, to put my ego aside and ask the hard questions. Why can't I move forward with her? Why can't I let this go? The answer is painfully clear. It's not just about the betrayal. It's about my core values, the foundation of who I am. What she did goes against everything I stand for and believe in. It's like my entire moral compass was shattered by her choices. And then, there's the herpes. That's not just a mistake. It's a lifelong consequence, a permanent scar on what we once shared. Every time I think about it, it's like a knife twisting in my gut. Knowing that staying with her would mean putting myself at risk, physically and emotionally, is too much. It's a constant, unrelenting reminder of her betrayal, and I choose not to carry that burden. The breaking point. I remember one night, a few weeks after her confession. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and she turned to me with tears streaming down her face. "I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you," she whispered. "I love you more than anything." For a moment, I almost believed her, but then the image of her with him flashed in my mind, leaving the bar, getting into his car, walking into his bedroom. The vividness of it all consumed me. It wasn't just a fleeting mistake. It was a series of deliberate choices. I got up, walked to the bathroom, and stared at myself in the mirror. My face looked hollow, my eyes sunken with exhaustion. That's when it hit me. Staying wasn't love, it was self-destruction. A change in perspective. She used to be my everything, my partner, my confidant, the person I admired most. But now, I can't even look at her the same way. The respect, the trust, the admiration, it's all gone. There's a cognitive dissonance I can't reconcile. I want to remember her as the woman I married, the person I thought she was, but the reality of her actions keeps crashing down, dismantling that image piece by piece. I've tried to peel back the layers, to understand how one night could unravel everything we built together. It's like an onion, each layer revealing another level of pain, confusion, and heartbreak. Moving forward, I don't share this story to dwell in bitterness or to paint her as a monster. She's human, flawed like the rest of us, but some mistakes come with consequences that can't be undone. For me, the herpes is more than just a physical issue. It's a symbol of everything that's broken between us. I don't want to live in a marriage where every touch, every kiss, carries a lingering shadow of betrayal. I'm choosing to walk away not out of hate, but out of self-respect. To anyone reading this, if you've been through something similar, know this life doesn't end with someone else's betrayal. You still have a future to live, dreams to chase, and love to give. It's hard, yes. Some days, it feels impossible. But healing comes in small steps, in choosing yourself over the pain. Thanks for reading. Keep your head up. You're stronger than you think.